got to realise basically this is not a normal town.
It's kind of weird, really, that the blue plaque is actually registered to number 34, but actually he did live in number 33. Maybe the people in number 33, who presumably are not here this weekend, but like the Financial Times, didn't want the plaque on their building, presumably. A bit weird, but he did actually live at number 33, which is quite obvious, really, and quite, what's the word? Just sort of apt. Very appropriate that he should live there, old brother Winston. And quite relevant. I thought of coming here because I looked it up and I wanted to just confirm that indeed he did live at number 33, but it's quite relevant because of, oh my god, the Orange Order. Reading it last night was entertaining. It was just like, oh my god. Let me tell you how this went. I didn't really know much about the Orange Order, as I said in the video yesterday. After I finished filming yesterday, I got on the Underground, and there was a newspaper lying on the ground, and I was looking at it and thinking, they look like people in Freemasonic regalia on that, standing next to Theresa May, what the hell? And I just thought, oh, it's probably just the mayoral regalia or something like that. But no, it actually turns out that Theresa May is forming a partnership with essentially what is an age-old fraternal Masonic order, and it's really weird. And there's plenty more as well. I mean, looking into the Unionist Party, it's fascinating because the main thing that they really, or one of the main things they really boast about in the Democratic Unions Party or whatever, Unionists Party, is that they are sort of some of the world experts and has some of the expert companies in cyber security. Not only that, they are seeing themselves, or Northern Ireland's specific task with Brexit is actually to provide an area for American cybersecurity firms to spread to the United Kingdom and start investing in the United Kingdom. Cybersecurity, Theresa May. It's sad, really. Well, it's all very sad. Like, the Supreme Court. This building is like meaningless to me now. I really spend the last month or so trying to work out what the hell that building is and does, and I've learned a lot, and I've realised that actually the Supreme Court is designed to do nothing at all. It's like they dissolved the law lords in the House of Lords because they said they had too much power, and what they did is they dissolved them so much and they put them in a building where actually they have no power at all to do anything, or rather the role that they abolished was the role to completely outlaw Parliament if it had become corrupt. So in a lot of ways, that's what people were saying that you needed reform in the Lords for, was because they had become corrupt and they had expensive scandals and all that kind of thing. And then what they turned them into was like almost the bureau to protect the Commons and to make sure that it's completely, I mean, they come down here and they argue about the sovereignty of the Parliament or whatever. If anything, the sovereignty of the Parliament is the main issue. Like, nobody should have that much power over the few. Like, Parliament Square is now open, look, because they had like a socialist revolution down here. I only literally got like a tiny little bit of them as they were coming down Whitehall. But they were having a party here. Well, what they had here was like a 2 minutes hate, more like 45 minutes hate, because it was all like anti-racism, and they were doing all the buzzwords. In a way, I wish I was down here, but in a way, being amongst them just makes me so sad. Makes me really miserable. So I'm glad I'm not here, but they were standing here literally having like a banging nightclub party, or partying, dancing, after they'd been like lectured at by all of the main figureheads of their like weird social movement. And they've been saying all the code words like racism and sexism and all of this kind of stuff, and hatred, and they all like preached hatred to each other for a while, and they had a party as if it was like all the hatred had suddenly evaporated. It was really weird. There's scaffold on the bottom. There's going to go literally all the way up, so the whole thing is covered over. It's like, actually, I'm just going to use this video just to sort of rant a bit. I hope you don't mind. It's almost like they're trying to spoil the town. No, more than that, it's almost like they're trying to spoil the entire country. Because if you think about it, you know, Westminster Bridge has always been a very, very pleasant place. Even when it was part of like the very highly tyrannical Victorian Empire, when it, you know, it was still a nice place to go because there was a nice river cruise pier and all that kind of stuff. And now Westminster Pier, in the mind, equals terrorism, and London Bridge is falling down. It's linked in, they've contaminated the world. Quite a long time ago, I mean just like a few months ago, I can remember Theresa May standing at Downing Street at some point talking about unionism. I'm pretty sure it's when she had the hardcore lefties outside the gates and she first took over, whatever.
Because not everybody knows this, but the full title of my party is the Conservative and Unionist Party. And that word unionist is very important to me.
And it just makes me think, well, were they like preparing that in advance or something? Now they are literally the Conservative Unionist Party? Or is it, I don't know, does that mean anything? I really don't know. I really don't know. You could say that the terrorist attacks wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for all of the people standing around in places en masse, because obviously like this town is very successful, so there are just like people everywhere, and you know, we'd be safer if they weren't here. We would have to be poor, because it's only where prosperity is that the terrorist things happen. So in a way, you could think about terrorism as like a tax on prosperity, because that's essentially what it does. It stops prosperity if it happens. If there's too much prosperity, something goes boom, and you're all like, oh God. And it's not that the prosperity disappears, it just starts to be owned by just very, very particular companies. And if they happen to be in cybersecurity or whatever, is that the way that where the money flows? Are the Conservative Party, Unionist Party, really just trying to get a handle on how to collect the most revenue in a short period of time? Just the people who are there at the moment, they might just want to make lots and lots and lots of corrupt money while they are there. That might actually be why Theresa May is doing the job that she's doing, is just to make lots and lots and lots and lots of corrupt money. And money really does corrupt, especially enough of it, I guess. Because one of the most important things about Northern Ireland is that you do not have to announce, or you don't have to declare campaign donations. So in terms of like shuffling dodgy political money, Northern Ireland is the perfect choice for Theresa May, especially seeing as basically the seats will be empty and they're being given their marching orders right now as we speak by the chief party whip, whose job it is to basically say, you just do what we tell you and we funnel the money through you. And cyber security, invisible wall, invisible barriers, Northern Iris scanning. I've got so much to read, got to go home.